This is our real thoughts on Thomas the Tank Engine, a.k.a. Sorry, Mara Wilson.
It's all good. She's cool.
Yeah, she's very cool. And it led to, I think, still my favorite joke. And it couldn't have worked with anyone else.
Don't fuck with Mara Wilson.
We might make a t-shirt out of that. She was saying that actually after it happened. She's like, do you guys do t-shirts? I'm like, we used to, but, we've kind of been out
if
of
we
it
do,
stuff,
we gotta
so
let
now,
her know.
Yeah, now it's like, maybe we'll bring that back because we are doing shirts again. But, yeah, I would wear a Don't Fuck With Mara Wilson shirt. But anyway, you have this movie, Thomas the Tank. Did you grow up with Thomas at all?
No, we were way too old for that.
I mean, but I think
our cutoff point.
Didn't it start, like, really, really way back? I mean, like, even further back? Like, it just
was... If it did, I don't ever remember watching it in the 80s. I have no memory of it.
Because I remember the toys. Like, the toys have been around since, like, I can remember memory.
Okay, maybe the toys, but...
I can't remember if they had a show or not,
I only started remembering the show somewhere in the 90s.
Yeah, that's why I remember, like, I saw it on PBS.
The last thing I remember watching was Reading Rainbow,
What, PBS? Or Mr.
Rogers' Neighborhood in Sesame Street. So Thomas the...
You didn't watch Barney?
No, well, that's the thing. That was the cutoff point. By the time Barney the Dinosaur came out, I was...
too old. And it was popular to hate
I
Barney.
was already... I was 12, maybe, already? Like, so people, like, review Barney's Big Adventure. I'm like, I didn't even watch Barney. I was way too
what would you
old.
even say to it? But everyone's asking for this movie, mostly because, unlike something like Barney's Big Adventure, where it's like, okay, this is for 2-year-olds, we're just going to teach you ABCs, we're just going to do it on the big screen, whatever. This one got kind of a big cast. They had, like, Alec Baldwin in it. And,
Eric Baldwin!
really doing God knows what.
Damn it, Eric Baldwin!
Who's the guy that took it way too seriously? You have one...
Peter Fonda?
Yeah, you have one obviously not taking it seriously, Alec Baldwin, one taking it way too fucking seriously.
And of course, the great Mara Wilson.
Who's just like... I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, because like I said, I guess I could call up and ask her, but it's like, she looks like she's at the stage where she's like, I'm gonna do this, don't get me wrong, I agree to it, I'm getting a nice trip and everything, but, I think I'm kind of wrapping up on the acting thing. Like, that doesn't kind of look like that. It doesn't look like she's half-assing it, but she's like, Thomas the Tank Engine.
It felt like she was... No, you know what it is? It felt like she was lost. Like literally, like... I mean, that's the funny thing about it, like, looking at this cast, I'm like, what a way to waste a good child actress. Like, I realize she's not exactly a child actress
Peter
Fonda!
But
it's like, we're gonna cast Mara Wilson and Thomas the Tank... Why? You could have gotten any kid. You don't need... Mara Wilson for that. I'm sure anyone would be grateful to have Mara Wilson, but it's not something like, well, this film, it's like Barney's Great Adventure was not going to succeed or fail based on, like, Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah, or...
it's like, who cares?
Or, Peter Fonda. I mean, that's, like, one of the great big actors.
So they get Mara Wilson, and they completely waste her. Like,
They waste everybody, to be fair.
I just felt like there was no reason for any of these people to be cast. You could have gotten complete unknowns, and it wouldn't have made any... Well, it would have made a little bit of a difference, which is...
Give us less jokes.
Yeah, well, I will say this. The funny thing is, Thomas the Tank Engine works as this great experiment in the 3 different modes of acting in a shit film.
That's true. That's very true.
You can either take it super seriously, which is what Peter Fonda does. I think he thinks he's on Golden Pond or something. Yeah. Like, he's acting his ass off as if he's in a serious drama. You can Nicolas Cage it and go batshit crazy, which is what Alec Baldwin did. Or you can just kind of be lost and be like, director, what do you want me to do? Okay, I guess I'll just read the line. Like, and that's, I think, what Mara Wilson's performance
somewhere like that middle of the road or whatever. Just I'm trying, I just don't know what you want. What does Thomas the Tank Engine demand?
Well, that's what I feel like. I felt like her in particular, out of the 3, she just had no idea what the direction was even supposed to be. Like, what am I doing? Mm-hmm. Like, and I can't imagine this was a brilliantly directed film. Like, oh no, we're gonna... Like, it just feels like, just, here's a kid's film, and just do this. And so it's up to them, I guess, to kind of make up their performances. And, she's younger. Alec Baldwin's at a point in his career where I think he maybe just assumed nobody was ever going to see this. So he's just like, I'll go insane! Mm-hmm. And Peter Fonda, I guess, consummate
Peter
aging,
fucking Fonda. I'm gonna
consummate
do
aging
Peter
professional. I'm going to make this the greatest movie about a toy train you'll ever see. God damn it!
To a point where it's just so funny every time
It's
it cuts
bizarre.
back to him. Every time
It
it
is
cuts
so
back to
bizarre.
him. Honestly, Mara Wilson, like I said, is somewhere in the middle. But with both Alec Baldwin and especially Peter Fonda, every time it cuts to him, you just immediately start laughing because you know they're just gonna give the exact same thing they've been giving throughout the whole film. It's like one note, but such a hilarious note.
There was a time in Baldwin's that was pre 30 Rock, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this was at a time in his career when he really was falling off the radar, like off the grid, like, so, yeah, as I said, I'm not sure he thought anyone was ever going to see this. It's like, whatever, like, it's such a crazy performance, I almost, like, want to imagine him, like, snorting lines of coke off, like, off camera.
Thomas, the tank engine.
All right, we're doing this!
Sparkle. That shirt is available, by the way.
Sparkle.
You can get that shirt. But
And then Peter Fonda says, settle down, take this seriously.
I'll say this, I remember it being very colorful. I'll give the fact, like, it was very bright, very colorful, and
It's great to show to 2-year-olds because it's like Teletubbies. Here's some colors.
Yeah.
Look, the train smiles.
Yeah, and Ebert went on his review going on and on about just how amazingly distracting it is that the mouths don't talk. And I know they don't talk on the show. You can't afford it. No, how could you not afford it? All you have to do is put a little remote in there, go boop, 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 meh, meh, meh. That's it. And even to the movie, you couldn't make that upgrade. Even fucking Garfield made that upgrade.
To quote National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, do you really think it matters, Eddie?
It's just, it adds to the creep value. They are just so creepy.
I don't care. Because that would have saved the movie. The fact that it's creepy actually makes the movie a little more interesting to watch as a drug trip.
I guess, but if I was a little kid, I'd just be like, they're not talking, man. They're all psychic. They're all possessed. They're all fucking something.
Honestly, in retrospect, thinking about the movie, I think Mara Wilson looking lost is the best thing to happen to the film because she may be the only thing that's grounding in that picture.
Yeah, that is
because
Pierre Fonda's too much in, this harsh reality.
Alec Baldwin is bouncing
reality.
off the walls like fucking flubber. Like, and then there's just Mara Wilson stuck in the middle, like
she's the one trying to add credibility to it. Like, shit, that was your credible bridge between the two actors.
I swear, every once in a while in that movie, she has this look on her face, like, what the fuck am I watching here? It's just so bizarre.
But yeah, in terms of like, I can't remember the story. I just remember it jumped around a lot, and it was just, it's Thomas the Tank Engine. What do you care?
Something involving trains and a crazy ass conductor.
Yeah, something like that. It did make for it was just so odd though, and the tone changing so much. I mean, it did make it. I actually do kind of have fond memories of doing this review. I remember just like, it was so strange, but it was also, there is a part of me that wants to be a little bit more lenient when something is bright and colorful, because at the very least, it's giving me something visually pleasing instead of just gray or rain or dark like Godzilla or something like that.
Here's the thing though. I thought Care Bears was bright and colorful and was a much better functioning children's movie. Like, even within...
We're gonna come back to that a lot. Don't we say that a lot? Like, Care Bears is better than this. Like, Care Bears is actually a lot better.
I'm trying to think of the one example of a film that is really made for 5-year-olds. I mean, you're not going much higher than the age of 5 on Care Bears. And I'm like, really made for 5-year-olds, but still functions as a story just enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a great movie, but as a
I'd argue it's not even good, but
as a cheap
like
corporate
you said, for 5-year-olds.
as a cheap corporate shill movie, like, it did it all right. So, I mean, even on the setting the bar so low for a cheap-ass kids film, like, you can still pull off something that's bright and colorful, but as a parent, you could at least get through it. This movie just, I just kept beating my head against a wall. I'm just like, make it stop.
Well, something that I remember that Mara Wilson said too is that she was talking about. I'm sorry we're talking so much about Mara Wilson, but it does tie back into this, that she was saying she was in a lot of kids films because I think both she and her parents thought that there need to be more kids films, and they're right. Back then, it was very true, and kids films were just expected. Yeah. Again, that was the dark age of films. It was just they were. If movies back then, some movies were expected to suck.
Drought.
Kids films were just expected dead on arrival. They were just dead.
Yeah.
And you could see it. She's trying to like, hey, well, this sounds kind of imaginative. She's like, here's a fairy godmother trying to, get things together, and it sucked. Well, here's Thomas the Tank Engine's popular show. Well, maybe it'd be good for Loki. It sucked, and
I think the intentions
nobody
were,
tried.
The intentions were good, but it's just like you can have an actor or actress with the best intentions, but if nobody else knows what they're doing, that's kind of what it felt like. Like
maybe people did try, but
they had no idea how.
Either they had no idea how, or like studio or something kept chiming in and saying, no, we have to stick to this crappy, lazy formula, or we have to just get this out fast.
I don't know.
Just get it out really quick. Grab somebody, grab whatever.
I don't know. I feel like
somebody clearly, a big group of people somewhere did not
I feel
care.
bad for Mara Wilson in that film, too, because she was in the right mindset at the wrong time. Can you imagine her
now
wanting to do that now?
Yeah, now there's incredible kids
There's
films.
so many options she could have done, and it's sad, like, that she messed up, but she's in New York now. She's doing playwright stuff, and so we're not worried about her. But it's just a shame that was her mindset, and, like, it's just great idea, wrong time. Like,
yeah, no.
Had she been that age, like 10 years later, she could have had her pick of like good kids films.
Yeah, well, now I will say most of them are animated now. But she could be a voice actress. You never know. There was just a time when it was just, aside from Pixar, kids films were just expected to be awful. I mean, like
Disney.
Dead on Arrival. Disney was terrible.
DreamWorks was cranking out 1 out of every 3 films was decent. Mm-hmm. Like, but they had a bunch. There was, I thought Prince of Egypt was great, and then I felt like they hit a slump for a long time.
Yeah.
Only recently, and even then, they're hit and miss. But Kung Fu Panda is really good, and How to Train Your Dragon. But so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it sucks.
It's nice. It's nice knowing now that it's like, and pro and con, people see them as money. I think these family films, and it makes sense. Kids, I just did a whole editorial on this on kid shows. They see the money now, and they see if they make these really good so that adults want to see them later, and they're cashing in on the nostalgia. Like, hey, not only do I want to see this because I remember it, but because it's good, you're doubling your audience. So it makes sense to make them good. And Pixar had a big change in that as well. Just saying, hey, we can, make jokes and write these so that they're hitting the adults just as much as the kids, and you can enjoy it at any age. It's okay, and not only that, it's profitable. And this just came out at an age where it wasn't, and they weren't trying, and they didn't.
This was like the Ogilvies of its day, or is that what it's called?
I don't know. I know what you're talking about. Whatever, the biggest bomb or whatever in history, or something like that.
The stupid
Loogies, Boogies. I don't know.
The kids movie that came out just not too long ago.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know, a while ago now, something like 5 or 6 years.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah. No, it was a while.
We're getting old,
right? Yeah, so I will say, I don't hate this film. It's one of those where it's like,
it doesn't
it's bad,
do
but
enough
it's kind
to
of,
hate it, for one thing.
it's kind of entertainingly bad in its goofy way and stuff. And just like I said, all the actors are clearly just in 3 separate movies, and then somewhere they like collide together and they just don't work off each other.
That may have actually contributed to the reason why there are 3 completely different performances.
Maybe it's like 3 directors, who knows?
And it might be why Mara looks lost, Baldwin's, God, I don't know what the hell he's doing, and then Peter Fonda's like, I thought there was going to be a Holocaust drama.
So, I can't think of too much else to say about it, just that, if you grew up with the show, I mean, great. I'm sure you were the intended age, and I'm sure it's fine. I've never seen the show either. Maybe it's better. I don't know. But I do know.
No clue.
This is another one of those where I got a lot of recommendations for it, and then when I did, people were like, "You shut the fuck up! I love Thomas the Tank Engine."
Well, if you loved it so much, why did you recommend we review it?
Yeah, so it's, I don't know. Anything with a big fan base, where they love it or hate it, is going to be exactly there. So you're going to be intense love or intense hate, but there's also intense numbers, because a lot of people watched it, a lot of people continue to watch it.
If they did a Mr. Rogers movie and it was this bad, I would have no problem reviewing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad
we love Mr. Rogers.
If you think the show was good, and I love Mr. Rogers too as a show, but if the movie was this bizarre and just didn't really do anything involved in a justice or didn't aim any higher than the show, then yeah, I would have. But somehow I see Mr. Rogers trying to put out a better quality.
I mean, we loved Garfield. I mean, we were like Garfield junkies when we were young, and that movie was awful.
We used to have like all the collections, all the TV specials.
I mean,
we watched Garfield and
everything.
Friends.
We loved them.
Yeah, and it's
so yeah. I mean, just because we love something as a kid or growing up or whatever, whether or not it holds
doesn't
up,
mean that the movie version can't suck.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, it gave us a great running joke with Mara Wilson.
Yeah, and I still think that's like, I just can't think of one that's funnier. Like
that was one of those better like whoops moments that turned out really good. Like because she emailed you like because somebody.
No. She the way it worked, just to clarify,
somebody turned her to the video.
Well, I guess a lot of people, I guess right after the Thomas the Tank Engine, a lot of people were like, hey, look, he hates you, or something.
Yeah, people
like
tried
that.
to do that with us at Bluth too. Like, can you believe what these guys are saying? It's like, okay.
Yeah, and she saw it, didn't know it was a character, was just like, that son of a bitch, and I think she was saying, like, she just got out of, like, something else that was, like, some sort of slander in a British newspaper article or something like that, and then she sees this as well, and she's like, who is this asshole? Who is, and then, like, immediately after, like, I contacted her and just said, hey, just know it's a character, he's actually meant to be kind of a loser and not to take it seriously.
I mean,
immediately wrote back,
it's
just like, dude, I didn't know.
If you don't know the context, then yeah, that could happen easily.
Who is this asshole?
Let's be fair. Like, if you don't realize it's a character, because, I mean, your idea of being a character is just to put on a silly hat and a tie, then yeah, you would be looking at this like, wow, what a dick.
Yeah, but, but then when, she immediately got back, it's just like, dude, I'm so sorry. I honestly, when people said it was a character, I thought they meant like, oh, what a character kind of thing. So, I mean, and we just talked from there, we're just like, hey, would you be, down for a cameo or something? I mean, this is back when, did she even make an appearance on screen, like, since her last movie or something? I don't know. So it was...
all I remember seeing her in was those, like, BuzzFeed lists of, you'll never believe what this child actor or actress is doing now, and like, or what do they look like now? And like that's all I had seen her in.
Even then, I didn't see them back then because I don't even think she had like the pictures out or anything like that. So to suddenly out of nowhere just see her, looking great. I mean, just grew up great and just acting just as well as she did. It's just. How can you top that? And how can you top someone that has such a good sense of humor? And just, when she did that evil laugh, there's like, she built on the evil laugh. It was the, and then the glowing eyes.
That was the most fun I probably had editing.
Making Mara Wilson's eyes
like
turn
special
demon.
effect thing. Because like, we just left it there and I'm like, Doug, I think I can make her eyes glow like the devil. And then I can turn the screen red and I remember I was like, but maybe we should ask her first.
Yeah, and then she was like, totally do it, that'd be great.
She was all game, so she was really gracious to let us do that, and I think she had a lot of fun with it. And then that ended up, I think in To Boldly Flee, we put Don't Fuck With Mara Wilson as a bumper sticker.
Yeah, it's a bumper sticker, that's right. So, we gotta work on a shirt for that. We gotta get that going. That's our thoughts on Thomas the Tank Engine. Didn't know much about the show.
Honestly, it's one of those
either.
surreal moments too. Like, at least for me, I don't know about you, but if you had told me when I was watching Mrs. Doubtfire,
you're gonna work with this person
in 1994. Oh yeah, at some point she's gonna grow up, and then you're gonna like do a quick video with this person. She's gonna cameo for you. I would have been like, what?
Or Rufio, or Pinky in the Brain.
Yeah, I would have like.
It's amazing.
What the hell are you talking about? Like, you're crazy.
No, it's really amazing, and we praise and glorify the fuck out of her, but we are still very, very thankful.
Thank you for not killing us.
By
the way, it was him.
It is one of those things. It's just another one of those situations where it shows what a good sense of humor and a good outlook it can get and what it can lead to. So, I have fond memories of this review, and
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to do. So, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Fuck yeah, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.